Hey everyone, special shout out to all you pot smokers and cannabis connoisseurs. This video is for you. And yeah, you're going to be getting some more bad news in regards to this whole legalization of marijuana or cannabis in Canada. I tried to warn you people, hey, believe me, I'm all about, people having the freedom to smoke. I'm a libertarian. Hello, smoke, grow, cultivate it, sell it. Do whatever you want. It's all voluntarily done. It all adheres to the non-aggression principle and the concept of private property. So, of course, as a libertarian, I'm all for it. And you can make a buttload of money because there are a lot of cannabis consumers out there. So, even the capitalist side of it, hoorah. I'm all for it, folks. All for it. So, when I say anything that's negative or derogatory towards legalization in Canada, it's not that I'm against legalization, of course, hello, but the problem, and let me clarify, when you're talking about legalization, you're using the term legal, so it's in reference to government. As far as I'm concerned, there never should have been any time in life, in any time in history, where it was illegal. So once again, when I say legalization, it's just about, listen, I'm all about taking that fucking pretense of authority out of the hands of these central planners, out of the hand of these control freaks. I think the best approach, though, this is just my personal opinion, would have been to just decriminalize. So nothing is actually considered a criminal penalty. Because then you wouldn't have had this pretense. See, that's what I mean is this legalization is basically the banner that the liberals, the federal liberals and their counterparts in the provinces are using to try to take over an industry that has already existed in Canada for as long as Canada was Canada. And it's flourishing, and it always has been. Back in my teenage years till even, in modern times, I know personally that it's very easy to get your hands on marijuana, cannabis, pot, weed, whatever you want to call it, anywhere across this country. Prime quality stuff, folks. So it's not like you had any issues or problems prior to government, legalization in getting it. But like I said, because they use this pretense of legalization as a means to try to intervene and overtake an entire industry, well, you're going to get, think about it. The people in government, authoritarians, petty tyrants, control freaks, sociopaths for the most part. So when you talk about legalization by government, well, this is the kind of stuff that is a result. Headline out of the National Post. How much cannabis could you smoke and stay under the proposed legal limit for driving? The answer may be zero. A Health Canada survey released last year found 39% of users had driven within 2 hours of consuming cannabis. So zero. So once again, and because it's arbitrary, just like alcohol, although they try to, I know in a lot of these articles, they try to make the alcohol thing totally different. Oh, we can measure impairment by, blood alcohol concentration levels. Bull fucking shit. You can't tell because there's such thing as level of fucking incompetence as far as a person's driving skills. So, no, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. But, of course, the propaganda machine, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, the fucking mainstream and establishment media, and the political hacks, well, they've been so busy and they haven't been opposed, and we didn't have social media to oppose this bullshit or shine some light, shine some truth, shine some reason, some logic, and some facts on the whole pretense of, if you have a 0.5 or 0.08 blood alcohol level, you're somehow impaired to drive. That's all bullshit. It's arbitrary, and like I say, it can be proven easily that no, there is no such thing as, if you're at this particular level, you're automatically impaired and incapable of driving, and you're a threat to people. Bullshit. But anyways, fast forward past that. They're trying to do the same thing with weed, because like I say, these are petty tyrants, folks, and they're basically looking to do two things. Well, three things, really. Take over the industry, completely control, manipulate, and regulate that industry, and to still profit from all areas of it. So whether it's punishing you or giving these crony corporations, legal monopolization of the industry so that in turn the governments can tax them, get their cut. So like I say, wow. But yeah, the big thing that you're going to see with the weed, the marijuana legalization is, you could smoke, weed, marijuana, like it stays in your system a whole lot longer than your typical alcoholic beverages. Within a 12 to 24 hour period, actually not even 24 hours, it'd never take that long. So let's just say within a 12-hour period, even if you're drunk out of your mind, in 12 hours, you'll be okay. Whereas marijuana, well, I mean, you'll be okay in either scenario, marijuana or alcohol after 12 hours, obviously. But that marijuana is going to trick these devices into thinking that you are still impaired because it stays in your system. It's not like alcohol that, dissipates from your system quite quickly. Anyways, I'm not going to read into the article. It's fairly long, and I'll leave that up to you. But basically what this article entails, I'll just give you a quick caption, a quick heads up of what's contained within this article. It's basically the suggestion that, as I've been saying already, there's no way for them to actually come to any genuinely objective conclusion as to when you last smoked your joint or lit up your bowl or ate that cookie, right? They don't know because of these levels. Like, so it's going to be whether it's 2 nanograms in your bloodstream or whether it's up to 5 nanograms, basically. And there's a lot of heavy punishments, and criminal connotations to all these measurements, all these impairment measurements. But there's no way for them to actually truly determine if you are impaired. But they're going to use these arbitrary numbers, just as I suggested, just as I expected. They're going to use these arbitrary numbers. And that's the other thing, too. In terms of, drinking and driving, even though it's still unconstitutional, illegit, and completely illegal, although, like I said, it hasn't been challenged to the Supreme Court yet, so they're still out there constantly taking your saliva with these blood samples, right? Using your saliva to test that, like when you blow into it, your blood alcohol levels. That's a complete infringement on your rights already, and I would say that would be under the illegal searches and seizures aspect of our Constitution, of our Bill of Rights. But now with the impairment for drug, like marijuana-related charges, not only are they going to be able to, do tests like your saliva, but they're actually going to be able to, if you, create a warning, if you're above some particular arbitrary level on that first initial test, well, then they can take you to a hospital or somewhere to have your blood drawn, right? Where your DNA, that code for your DNA it's contained, they're going to be able to forcibly withdraw your blood to then make some, once again, arbitrary determination in regards to how much level of THC is in your system. So, like I say, totally unconstitutional, totally illegal, totally illegitimate, totally immoral as far as I'm concerned. But, like I've been telling you people, especially a lot of you young millennials, you got to understand what government is and the kind of people that want to form governments. Because I see a lot of you out there, you're very, very fucking naive, and I get it when we're young. Hey, I was young, I was your age at some point. I was naive to think that, the people in government, they just have our best interests in mind, and they're all so benevolent. Meanwhile, the rest of society, we're all terrible, so we need these benevolent, political overlords to take care or rule over the rest of us. Like I said, I've never seen anywhere where they have any actual genuine pretense of moral superiority or even an understanding of genuine concepts as far as individual liberty or freedoms. These are authoritarians, folks. And they're going to do ultimately what's best in the interest of the state, what's best in the interest of government, what's best in the interest of being the rulers over the people that they perceive to be their constituents or their serfs or their loyal subjects, however they want to conjure that up in their mind. But you really should, like I say, do what you got to do. Get out there. Like, stop protesting against the patriarchy and all these ridiculous fucking foolish concepts. If you want to do something, stand up against this authoritarian collective takeover by these central planning hacks of an entire industry. Stand up against that. That's something that that's something that will actually benefit you in the future. These fucking bullshit fake propagandas where you're wasting all your time I got to fight against the patriarchy, which doesn't exist, by the way. Or, I got men against women, or white people against black people, or white people against brown people, or white people against brown and black people, however they want. that's not something that's actually legitimate because we're all individuals. But you can stand up and you can point to those in government who are the true culprits, who are the true authoritarians, who truly do want to impose their will on you. Those people, 100%, you have 100% clarity. You can be clear in the fact that if you oppose these people and you push back against their pretense of authority, at least you know you're going to do the right thing, not just for yourself or for other people that you care about, but for the greater good, right? Wow. Anyways, like I say, I'll share a link to this article in the description of the video below, but yeah, this is not going to work out good for you young people if you don't do something now, because if you wait too long, well, that short-term memory of people, you know, once it gets past a certain point, well, good luck trying to bring that up later on. Good luck trying to push back when it's mostly out of everyone's mind and they're moved on to some other new controversy, right? It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.